I believe that deep down, every woman wants to find peace and happiness within themselves, as well as a sense of purpose out in the world, and to really feel appreciated. I know that when women feel appreciated, they really feel like everything is possible. When women feel appreciated, it's like the food of the feminine. We are able to shine our authentic selves, however cliched that may seem. But how often do you feel a little less lustrous, a little lackluster, like you're losing your mojo? How easy is it to maintain balance with your personal growth, your spiritual life, and the day-to-day life of running a business or working with colleagues or raising a family? All too often we can find ourselves caught up in this push-pull of doing and then coming back to being, of doing and then getting exhausted, or feeling like you're struggling and you're not really getting the fulfillment and maybe success that you feel that you really deserve in your life right now. I'm Bex Thompson from Zen Physio Yoga Conscious Health, and that was certainly me for a long time. I've been a physiotherapist for over 20 years and a very intellectual person, often caught up in my head. And physio is very scientific, it's a diagnose and fix it type model. So I was always trying to be the very best and fix everyone, wondering why not everyone could be fixed. Then I had my family, and of course I wanted to be the perfect mom and have perfect children, and there's a lot of self-worth and struggle caught up in that. I got to a point about 12 years ago where I crashed. Several years of intense headaches as well as mixed with anxiety and depression, and I knew things had to change. I started committing to my spiritual practice, and everything that I learned taught me that I had to get out of my head and into my body. I became a yoga teacher, but I still had this difficulty with balancing my practices and my spirituality in an environment that didn't necessarily support that. Until I found the art of feminine presence. And this work has been gold. It's like the little last piece of the puzzle. I've discovered that by really tuning in and refining my practice to a much more feminine way, that I am tapping into my innate abundance, my creativity. And the particular practices have given me such a greater sense of self-worth that I no longer feel myself holding back so much. I'm not putting the handbrake on in my life, and I'm allowing myself to do so much more. And this is creating so much more opportunities in my life, on all levels of my life. So what does it mean to be in the feminine or to access our feminine presence? And what is it if we're not doing that? Well, if we're not doing that, we're often stepping into the masculine. And why? Well, we've become such a long way in the West on becoming seen and heard as women, to be finding that level of equality, that we've perhaps pushed ourselves a little bit more into that masculine world. Now, how does that show up? It can show up as pain and tension in the neck and shoulders, and a feeling of emptiness and weakness and lack of control in the lower part of our body. And I see this pattern so often in the clients that I work with, of gynecological problems and instabilities and imbalance in the pelvis, as well as a lot of tension and pain in their neck and shoulders. Other ways that it can show up is just a sense of not really knowing who you are anymore, not being able to tap into perhaps the creativity that you felt when you were younger, not sure that you're aligning your purpose with your passion. The other way that it can show up is conflicts in your relationships, particularly with other women, but also with men. It can also show up as fatigue, not being able to maintain constant energy levels, that doing and being conflict that we talked about before, and that we can't sustain that doing. So if you're someone that's listening to this and you're like, yeah, I can totally relate to that, then I really urge you, I invite you so strongly to come and do this work. Why? Because I've seen such a massive change in myself, and I'm deeply honoured to have been able to share this work one-on-one with clients as well as in group work, and I've been the privilege of seeing this massive transformation in others, and I mean that on a deeply heartfelt level. This is work that I will be incorporating into my life for the rest of my life. So if you would like to join a very intimate circle of women on working on living passionately and easefully and abundantly, and not feeling like you have to separate yourselves into different people depending on what you're doing, to feel as if you can really be yourself. And that will not just change you, but this will change your environment and the people around you. If that's something you want and you want to be a part of this next generation of women that are taking their powerful and feminine back without fear, without guilt, and without weakness, then I would love you to join us. Click on the booking link in your email or under this video and join us in spreading this work amongst your community. And if you have any friends, mothers, sisters that you feel would relate to this work, then please, please share this video with them and invite them along. So book in now for whichever immersion is closest to you. I'll be travelling around Australia in various towns and cities throughout this year, and I look forward to seeing you. Let's celebrate the rise of the